The sun, the Earth's ultimate source of physical light. In an astronomical sense, luminosity differs from brightness. While the latter is how intense or dim the light seems to viewers, luminosity is the true amount of energy and brightness a star releases. This establishes the idea of subjectivity versus objectivity, the perspectives others hold versus ultimate truth. Imagine standing outside with a friend. He says, "It's really dark outside." However, you have the opposing opinion. You recognize that it's because he's wearing highly polarized sunglasses, and to him, the sun seems a lot less bright. When analyzing the intrinsic brightness of the sun, luminosity, its true nature is revealed. Aren't human beings viewed in such a way? Judged based on perceived brightness? It is nonsensical and an immense misuse of one's time to mourn another's misinterpretation of our character. Truth and morality is also often viewed in such a skewed lens. But what can we do to aid the tragic rising ignorance of the world? The answer? Light. Here are 4 important tips to remember in this metaphorical admission to our personal emission of our light. Number 1. Look for the light. How can you do or find anything without knowing what you're searching for? The red car theory describes the idea that you notice more red cars on a day you consciously look for them rather than not. This manifests how we often find what we're looking for when we take action and search it out. Additionally, action without the right tools and circumstances is extremely difficult. If one is trying to discern where their lost car keys are in the darkness of their living room, there is a lower probability of finding that object in such circumstances compared to if they were searching for it in the light. The character Professor Dumbledore in the series Harry Potter says, "Happiness can be found even in the darkest of times if only one remembers to turn on the light." In a figurative sense, light is goodness. Light is love, compassion, strength of character, a strong moral compass, a deep sense of humility, and a genuine passion for growth. Light is often found in a feeling. It's a comforting sense of warmth, safety, security, and a palpable feeling of hope and peace. Learn to recognize it when you feel it. Number 2, be a light. If you've ever watched the movie Tangled, you've probably recognized Rapunzel's happy, energetic, determined spirit. She is exactly like a little ball of light. Additionally, the movie's song lyrics say, "At last I see the light, and it's like the fog has lifted." When we are immersed in a feeling and behavior of continual goodness, it's like being showered in sunlight. The Guinness World Record for the longest domino wall was 51.73 meters. One small domino being flicked over has the potential to cause a chain reaction, creating something huge. We are like the one domino. By simply being an example and having a steadfast conviction in one's beliefs, while also balancing a sense of willingness to understand others, we are able to use our potential for good and be a light. Number 3, maintain your light. When I was a kid, I was trying to grow a sunflower. However, I didn't quite realize it required continual direct sunlight to grow. While this experience didn't result in my wishes of getting a pretty flower, what I did gain was more long-lasting, a lesson. This event represented to me how we all need constant light in our lives in order to flourish. Maintaining any habit or action takes work, especially if it goes against the natural, slothful human tendencies we have. In order to keep our light growing, there is a necessity for a governance over one's emotions and a humble spirit. Peter F. Uchtdorf said, "We need to purge our hearts and minds of feelings and thoughts of bitterness, and let the light and love of Christ enter in. As a result, the Spirit of the Lord will fill our souls with the joy accompanying divine peace of conscience." We are human. We all need constant reminders and personal observance over our actions, words, and behaviors. It may be tempting to conform to society due to a desire for inclusion or recognition, the pursuit of fame, wealth, and status for the glorification of self. But will that truly give a person lasting joy? Will that maintain one's light? No. That is simply a temporary gratification, a seemingly bright fire which eventually burns out. It is by obedience that we gather light into our souls. Gather and maintain your light. Number 4, share the light. Many places of the world are dark and in need of illumination. If you are given the opportunity to go to a giant buffet made by the world's greatest chef and you can invite as many people as you wanted, wouldn't you want to bring as many people as possible? Joy is limitless and we should freely give it. It could be seen in service, gleaming smiles, or lending a compassionate ear to those struggling in difficult circumstances. So stand firm. Maya Angelou said, "Nothing can dim the light that shines from within." Why would you intentionally dim your light to match others? You have such a brightness within. While others make questionable choices which conjure a cloud of dreary darkness above them, there is always a way to bring back the luminous sunlight. There is no weakness in goodness, nor regret in reflecting the light and love of Christ. Matthew 5:16 says, "Let your light so shine before men, that they may see your good works and glorify your Father which is in heaven." Here is this week's TF challenge, today through forever. Encompass this light. Seek to recognize it and reflect it. Have charity for others. The truth of the matter is, we are all capable of greatness. We are all innately valuable and have the potential for shining our light to our fullest capacity. Despite temptations to become dim, we must acknowledge our luminosity and choose to be a long-lasting beacon of brightness for the betterment of ourselves and society.